Have you been feeling different lately? Like something inside of you is shifting, but you can't quite explain it. You're not lost. You're not broken. You're evolving. Your soul is waking up, stretching, breaking free from everything it was once told to be. And no, it's not always comfortable. But chosen one, it's divine. What you're feeling right now is spiritual transformation, and the old version of you can't come with you where you're going. At first, it feels like confusion. The things that used to satisfy you don't. The people who used to understand you drift. The goals you once chased, they seem small now. And you start to question everything. Who am I really? What am I doing here? Why do I feel like I'm shedding layers of myself? Because you are. Your soul is being peeled open, exposed to light you once hid from. You're stepping out of survival mode. You're no longer addicted to fitting in. You're no longer begging for approval. And with every layer that falls off, truth rises, authenticity rises, clarity rises. But here's the secret nobody tells you. Spiritual growth doesn't always feel spiritual. Sometimes it feels like chaos, like isolation, like breaking. Because before your soul can rise, your ego must die. And that's what's happening now. The old self, the self that was shaped by fear, by trauma, by conditioning, is crumbling. And the real you is emerging from the wreckage. Don't fight it. Don't numb it. Don't try to run back to who you used to be, because that version of you wasn't your highest self. It was your programmed self. The one who played small to keep others comfortable. The one who carried pain just to avoid confrontation. The one who abandoned dreams for the sake of survival. That version did what it had to do. But now you're being called higher. You're starting to see things you once ignored. The spiritual signs, the intuitive nudges, the synchronicities. You're noticing the energy of people, the intention behind words, the vibration of places. That's not just being sensitive. That's your spirit coming online. That's your divine sight being restored. And yes, you may feel alone at first, because not everyone around you is evolving with you. Not everyone wants to question the system. Not everyone is ready to break generational chains. Not everyone is built to walk through the fire and rise with truth in their lungs. But you are. That's why your relationships are shifting. The universe is recalibrating your entire life, removing who can't go, revealing who was never real, realigning you with what you truly need, not what you wanted, what your soul needs. You may cry more now. You may feel deeply, even without knowing why. That's healing. That's clearing. That's your spirit cleansing years, lifetimes of karmic weight, generational pain, and emotional debris. You are being emptied, so you can finally be filled with something real. And here's the beautiful part. Your future self is already waiting for you on the other side of this. The version of you that walks in truth. The version that no longer doubts their intuition. The version that trusts God more than their own plans. The version that isn't afraid to walk away from anything and anyone that disrupts their peace. That version is already formed in the spirit. Now the process is simply catching up in the physical. Yes, there will be moments where you feel like you're breaking. Let it break. Let the old beliefs collapse. Let the trauma resurface, not to torment you, but to leave you. Let the lies you were told about who you are fall off your body like ash. Because what's underneath? It's sacred. It's light. It's fire. It's you. The real you. The raw you. The spiritual you. Not the version the world created. The version God breathed into existence. And that version doesn't need to be fixed. That version needs to be remembered. You are not behind. You are not late. You are becoming. Transformation doesn't follow human timelines. It honors divine alignment. And if you feel like you've been in the dark for a while, good. Because seeds are planted in darkness. And right now, you are germinating into something the world has never seen. You are not crazy. You are not losing it. You're shedding everything that's false. And what's real, what's pure, what's divine, is finally rising. This is not the end. It's the beginning, the awakening, the unfolding, the unraveling of everything that isn't you, so that what is you can finally breathe. You are being stretched for a reason. You are being stripped for a reason. Because when the next level calls, the old level must be released. You're not here to play a role. You're here to walk in truth. So yes, it's lonely. Yes, it's intense. Yes, it's overwhelming. But chosen one, don't stop. Don't go back to sleep. Don't settle for a life that no longer fits your spirit. Because where you're headed, it's holy. Because where you're headed, it's holy. You are stepping into a space few dare to go. The space where masks fall off, where illusions shatter, where you meet yourself in the rawest form. And it's not always pretty. It's not always polished. But it's always real. That's what makes it sacred. The real work of the soul happens in private. No audience, no spotlight. Just you and God. Just you and truth. Just you facing yourself with courage and grace. And as your soul continues to evolve, you'll start noticing the contrast more clearly. You'll feel when a conversation lowers your vibration. You'll sense when a place no longer holds the same frequency. You'll hear your inner voice louder than the noise of the world. That's spiritual maturity. That's the evidence that your inner world is rising higher than your outer reality. And it's in that space, that sacred shift, where miracles begin to find you. You'll start attracting people who speak your language, even in silence. You'll start finding peace in your own company. You'll no longer feel the need to explain yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you. Because when your soul evolves, you stop arguing with the small. You stop chasing what's not for you. You stop overcompensating for people who refuse to grow. You choose truth, even when it costs you comfort. You choose alignment, even when it costs you attachment. You choose God, even when it costs you popularity. And in exchange, you get something rare. Freedom. Not just external freedom, internal freedom. The freedom to show up as you are. The freedom to trust what you feel. The freedom to no longer apologize for being intense, deep, emotional, sensitive, spiritual. Because now you know, those aren't weaknesses. They are powers. And those powers were buried under years of programming, trauma, and pretending. But now, they're reawakening, and you're remembering who you've always been underneath all the noise. A spiritual being on a human journey. A vessel of light in a world of shadows. A soul that was never meant to blend in, but to blaze trails. So don't fear this evolution. Don't fear the solitude. Don't fear the discomfort. Because the very things that once scared you are now being used to unlock you. The very silence you once avoided is now the space where you hear God the clearest. The very pain you once buried is now being alchemized into wisdom. This is what it means to evolve. You start embracing what you used to run from. You start trusting what you used to doubt. You start surrendering where you once resisted. And through that surrender, you rise. You rise not with noise, but with knowing. You rise not with ego, but with essence. You rise not with force, but with flow. And the world around you, it starts to shift too. Not because you changed it, but because you changed you. And when you change your frequency, your entire reality has no choice but to respond. Suddenly, doors open without knocking. Suddenly, answers come without asking. Suddenly, peace floods in without warning. Because you're no longer chasing, you're becoming. And when you become who you truly are, everything that's meant for you starts finding you, effortlessly, naturally, divinely. But the path there is narrow. Few walk it, fewer finish it, because it requires death to everything false. The death of your need for approval, the death of your addiction to being liked, the death of your desire to perform, to please, to perfect. But what rises from that death is rebirth, the rebirth of your spirit, the rebirth of your creativity, the rebirth of your connection with the divine. And that rebirth is not temporary, it's eternal. So when things fall apart, let them. When people leave, let them. When confusion hits, let it pass through. Because your soul knows where it's going, even when your mind doesn't. There's a wisdom inside you that's older than your body, deeper than your thoughts. Trust it. Lean into it. That's the part of you that has survived lifetimes. That's the part of you that's whispering. Keep going. You are not lost. You are transitioning. You are not breaking down. You are breaking open. You are not behind. You are being realigned. This transformation will not be explained to everyone, and that's okay. Let your peace be the explanation. Let your glow be the proof. Let your silence speak volumes, because when your soul evolves, words become unnecessary. You don't need to convince anyone. You don't need to fight for understanding. You just are. And in that being, in that still, grounded, powerful presence, your true life begins. So if you're still in the in-between, not who you were, but not yet who you're becoming, breathe. You're in sacred ground. You're in the soil of transformation. You're being undone, unraveled, and rebuilt from the inside out. And when it's done, you won't just be better. You'll be reborn. A soul aligned, a spirit lit, a life lived from the inside out.